She never imagined love could feel so quiet and complete at the same time. With him, there were no grand promises or dramatic declarations. Just consistency, warmth, and the comfort of knowing someone would always be there. He became her safe place, the person she trusted with her softest thoughts and unspoken fears. Every shared laugh, every late-night conversation, stitched her heart closer to his. Their relationship grew slowly, like something rooted deeply rather than rushed. He remembered the little things, how she liked her tea, the way she fell silent when overwhelmed, the songs that made her nostalgic. Those details made her believe this love was real, unbreakable. She gave him her loyalty without hesitation, never questioning his intentions or loyalty in return. To the outside world, they looked ordinary. No dramatic romance, no flashy displays. Just two people walking side by side, hands brushing, lives quietly intertwining. She believed that kind of love lasted longer. She believed that trust, once earned, didn't need constant reassurance. There were moments when he seemed distant, distracted by his phone or lost in thought, but she dismissed them as stress or exhaustion. Love, she believed, required patience. And she was patient. She chose understanding over suspicion, faith over doubt. She planned her future with him without realizing it. Not with words, but with feelings. She imagined growing older together, sharing routines, building something steady. He felt like home. And when someone feels like home, you don't question the foundation beneath your feet. What she didn't know was that while she was building a life around him, he had already begun stepping away emotionally. His smiles became practiced, his affection measured. But she didn't see it, not because the signs weren't there, but because love made her blind to the possibility of betrayal. She trusted him completely, and in that trust, she unknowingly handed him her heart, never imagining he would walk away carrying it with him. The truth didn't arrive loudly. There was no dramatic confession or explosive argument. It slipped into her life quietly, the way heartbreak often does. A name mentioned too often. A smile that lingered too long. A sudden secrecy that hadn't existed before. At first, she told herself she was overthinking. Love teaches you to doubt yourself before doubting the person you care about. But small moments began stacking up, forming a pattern she could no longer ignore. Late replies. Changed routines. Emotional distance masked as tiredness. One evening, while scrolling absent-mindedly, she saw something she wasn't meant to see. Nothing explicit. Nothing undeniable. Just enough to shatter the world she thought she knew. A message filled with familiarity that didn't belong to her. A tone that once belonged to their private conversations. Her heart didn't break instantly. Instead, it froze. Denial wrapped around her like a shield. She searched for explanations that would make the pain disappear. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe she misunderstood. But deep down, she knew. She didn't confront him. Not because she was weak, but because she needed to understand the truth first. And the truth was unbearable. He had given someone else the attention, affection, and emotional space that once belonged to her. What hurt most wasn't the betrayal itself. It was realizing how easily she had been replaced. How quietly he had stepped outside their relationship while she remained loyal, waiting, believing. He never admitted it. He didn't have to. His distance said everything. The warmth faded. The effort disappeared. And eventually, so did he. When he walked away, there were no explanations. No apologies. Just silence. And in that silence, she understood that the love she fought to protect had already chosen someone else. After he left, the world felt unfamiliar. Not because everything changed, but because nothing did. The same streets. The same routines. The same memories waiting at every corner. She carried on, smiling when required, functioning when necessary. But inside, she was grieving someone who was still alive. She didn't miss him as he was at the end. She missed the version of him she fell in love with. The one who made her feel chosen. The one who made promises without words. That version became a ghost, haunting her thoughts, living in memories she couldn't erase. Nights were the hardest. Silence grew louder when there was no one to talk to. She replayed moments, searching for where things went wrong. Wondering if she wasn't enough. If loving deeply had been her mistake. She loved him even after he was gone, not actively, but passively. Like holding on to an echo. Like loving a shadow that no longer belonged to her. And that love hurt more than the betrayal. He moved on. She stayed stuck. She didn't beg. She didn't chase. Her pain was quiet, invisible to everyone else. But it consumed her. Loving someone who chose someone else leaves scars that don't bleed, but ache constantly. And still, she survived each day. Carrying his memory like a burden she didn't know how to put down. Healing didn't come suddenly. It arrived slowly, in moments she didn't notice at first. In days where she thought of him less. In nights where the pain softened instead of sharpened. She realized something important. She didn't lose him. She lost the illusion of who he was. And what she deserved was never what he gave in the end. Letting go wasn't about forgetting him. It was about choosing herself despite the pain. About understanding that loyalty should never be one-sided. That love should never require silence or self-abandonment. She stopped holding on to the ghost of his love. She stopped blaming herself for someone else's betrayal. And in doing so, she reclaimed her heart, the one he walked away with but never truly deserved. She learned that some people leave not because you weren't enough, but because they were incapable of loving honestly. And that realization finally set her free.